What's happening, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make a nostalgic beat for Drake. You know, some Dark Lane demos type vibes, like a sampled beat, just like kind of nostalgic, like, you know, just something to bump like when you're driving down the sunset. And as always, go follow me on social media at inviral, you know what I'm saying, tap in. But let's get started. So basically I started with this sample that I found. This is what it sounds like. So it's very nostalgic. So what I did next is I found like the good parts I want to sample and kind of just chopped it up, and it sounds like really messy, but so next I basically like perfected the rhythm of it by putting the metronome on and just kind of dragging everything so it like matches up, and I rendered it out to audio, and this is the final like thing that I have. So as you can see, that like matches with the BPM. So that's the first step, is you want to kind of have your sample match the metronome, be a perfect loop. But then I found this to be too, like, there's too much going on, you know, the voice is kind of distracting from the rapper. So what I did is I opened up an instance of Fruity Slicer over here, which is basically a way you can chop samples and play it back with a MIDI keyboard. So I found my audio over here. This is my loop that I chopped up in the playlist, actually, just with the audios. I put it in here. So as you can see, it auto chops it, which we don't want that. We want to go up to here and do beat. So this is chops it based on the beat, and now I can play it back on my MIDI keyboard like this. So I'm just playing consecutive notes, and then if I go over here and create a new pattern and go to the slicer, you can see that we do have different slices, and I guess every chop is a quarter note. So if I just lay it down consecutively like this, and you know, copy in this, do that. You can see that just plays the regular sample, because like the chops are just consecutive. But I didn't want to do that. I wanted to switch up the flow of it, because like sampling is kind of, you know, taking different parts of the song and kind of adding it in a different way, adding it in a unique way. So I came up with this chop. As you can see, it's not like consecutive, it's just kind of all around the place. And this is what that sounds like. Yeah, the most important thing is you want to make it repeat, like loop back to the sample, because you want it to just flow. So after I had that, I actually rendered that out just as audio. It just sounds a little bit more cleaner and looks cleaner when it's just audio, and you can chop it up even more if you want. So basically, after you have the sample, it's like easy game from that point on, because then you can just do anything with the drums, and it'll sound good, because the sampling part is the most difficult part. So basically, after I got the sample, I added like this basic drum pattern on top of it. And then hi-hat rolls come in. Alright, so an important thing that I did to the sample is I actually went over here in the mixer and put a low pass filter. So I just cut out all the highs in this section, just to kind of make the sample feel more muffled. And I actually have a whole video on how to use low pass filters to your advantage when making like atmosphere in your beats. So I'll link it right now if you want to go check that out. You know what I'm saying? Just like, you don't want to do too much with it. So like the 808 is very important, and sometimes it might take a while for you to find the root notes of the 808. And for that, I suggest just putting it up an octave so you can hear if it's off or not. Alright, so when you're making these sampled beats, you can either just do the whole beat with just the sample and add nothing else, which is okay. But I decided to add like another top element, since I thought if I, you know, low pass the melody, it needs a little something higher to give it that spice. So I just went and played this little melody on a Rhodes just to accompany the sample. So it's actually very simple, but with the sample, it adds a lot actually. So I'll just play it. Stay sipping. You know what I'm saying? Stay sipping that H2O. No rap cap. So then for the verse section, I just went and switched the rim to a clap just to add some variation. So this is an important part next. I just basically switched the 808 into this bass. And I'll play with the song. And then it switches back to the 808 again. So overall, it's a pretty simple beat, but I would say the hardest part is just to find a good sample and then sample it properly to kind of leave room for the artist. So that's pretty much it for this tutorial. I'll play the full beat in a second, but if you enjoyed it, please leave a like, and I'll see you guys later.